On my allotment, I've discovered this path that leads to a small tunnel that's going under the fence into the farmland next to my allotment plot. I wonder who has created this. Is it a friend or foe? Hello friends, and welcome back to Amir's allotment. In Gloucester, where I live, some of the streets are full of vibrant colours and reminders of nature and the wildlife. This morning, a few doors down to where I live, this little fella was spotted taking a stroll. When I'm in my garden and on the allotment, I feel privileged that the wildlife is never far away and always there to give me a helping hand. As I was leaving the allotment one evening, this little hedgehog was seen on patrol, starting its night duty and giving me assurance that the slugs will be under control. Such a perfect evening on the allotment tonight. There's a few people around me and they've all come here and after work or during their free time and just do a bit of gardening, and there's no wind and it's just a really nice, pleasant, sunny evening. So I'm in the pumpkin and squash patch and things are looking quite good here. I covered everything in a straw mulch at the base, each plant, because it's to really retain the moisture, because when I water, this is really open ground, and because it's open ground, it just dries up really quickly. So keep the pumpkins happy basically. So I've got some pumpkins in here, some crown prince, a Halloween variety pumpkin, and some courgettes as well. I think I've got a marrow at the back as well, like a bush type marrow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how these go. But so far, this area, things are looking good. They're starting to pick up behind me there. You can see the bush marrow is really starting to flower now as well. They're following. My courgettes at home are already fruiting. I've harvested a load and I'm going to harvest another load. So courgettes are doing really quick at home, but then they were planted early at home. I've got some spare plants actually that I will bring here, just pop them in this patch because yeah, we can have some more here. And yeah, things are coming along slowly here on the allotment, but nicely though. I'm not in any particular hurry anyway. Given the pumpkins and squash some water. This straw seems to be doing quite well in retaining the moisture, so they're growing quite nicely. Just behind this picket fence at the front of my plot, planted these tomato plants and they're looking good. They are getting there. They're really starting to put on some size now. I'll soon have to stake these, but yeah, I'm impressed with these so far, so good to see. Just did a bit of weeding here, but they are doing well. And over here is Bob's little one still seems to be hanging around. He's quite sweet. Likes to keep me company. But these tomato plants are doing good. They're doing really good here, so that's nice. Just in case we get any more breezy days, I decided to stake and tie in these tomato plants. My garlic is looking really good this year. It's not ready to harvest yet because it's a hard neck variety, and I can tell the scapes are just peeking through there. So the scapes are not even through yet, so it's not ready to harvest, but it is looking really good. That's probably the fattest garlic that I've ever had. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how these fare this year, but they're looking promising so far. A little bit of rust, but that's expected at this time of the year, but they're still very, very green and lush, so I'm not too worried. They're looking good. So yeah, in a couple of months this should be ready. And I say a couple of months because remember, I planted this late. Now if this works out for me, I think I'm going to start sowing my garlic in spring from now on. Sowed in March, and just look at it, it's just looking great. But it's a bit of an experiment. It'll be interesting to see if the bulbs have actually split, but yeah, only in time we'll find out. But yeah, they're looking great. So far so good. Now these shallots were planted at the same time as the garlic, and look, they almost look ready. They're starting to separate at the base. Now these were all nibbled when they were really young plants. I suspect the rabbits, they nibbled all of them, but that was when they newly were just shooting. Since they've been fine, but yeah, I don't think it's long now until these will be ready as well. So these are French shallot, and yeah, they're looking good. In fact, look, yeah, look like they're forming nicely. So I'm catching up with my sunflowers. I usually would have sown these by now, but I just have not had time. So I'm going to sow some sunflowers in these trays, and then once the seedlings are a decent size, I'll get them over to the allotment. I usually direct sow my giant sunflowers, so those I'll be direct sowing on the allotment probably today or at some point by this weekend. But for now, let's get some of these sunflowers in these trays. And yeah, these are, I'll show you, they're dahlias, some dahlias. Not bad from Home Bargains. They're actually a decorative single dahlia, and 3 tubers in this pack for £1.99, so that is a Home bargain. And in here as well, I've actually got some shake and rake sunburst flower garden, so that should be interesting. I've got another one there to go with that meadow look that I was planning to do as well, and I've still got those cornflowers and other varieties in there as well. So those are for the allotment, but at home I'm just going to get these sown now, get these trays filled up with some compost and get some of these sunflowers sown. When I'm in a hurry, I just find it so much more easier to do it this way. So grab a wheelbarrow and grab some compost and literally just fill up these seed trays. Okay, so let's get some sunflowers sown in here. First one I'm going to do is this symphony mix. It's brilliant how these sunflowers are starting to pop. I can't wait for these to get a little bit bigger and then I can take them to the allotment. Look, we've even got some zinnias that are coming through as well. So this is great. Let me give you an update on my okra. Now the ones outside sadly got eaten by the slugs, and I've got 3 plants indoors. They're a bit leggy, but they are growing nicely, so let's see what happens. So far you can see tiny little fruits, but I don't know if they're going to come of anything yet because it's still quite a small plant, but I'm keeping these ones indoors to see how they do. Right behind this garlic here, just take a look at this radicchio lettuce, looking amazing. Really, really lovely. Look, soon it'll be a nice decent sized lettuce for me to harvest. Not long to go now. And lots of Lola Rossa come in. With Lola Rossa, what I tend to do is just pick the leaves as of when I need them, and I leave the rest of the plant in. Here's another one. There is nothing more satisfying than pottering around in the garden or on my allotment, picking some of my own fruit and veg. It's just bliss. Here I'm just picking some courgettes and some salad. Here's a tip for you. I learnt this from my sister. If coriander goes to seed like this, don't let it go to waste. It's actually quite pungent to use. So give it a good clean, pop it all in a pestle and mortar and give it a really good crush and grind it until it's really, really well blended, and it really is quite strong and fragrant. A great ingredient for a curry. What I tend to do is also add it in some yogurt with some mint sauce and a little bit of whole cumin seeds as well, and you can actually taste and smell the coriander fragrance within that. It's really, really nice. So yeah, don't let it go to waste. Make sure you use it even if it's gone to seed. Well, we've reached the end of this vlog. Thanks for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.